Welcome back to Melbourne Vibe, guys. After making a bunch of videos about what you should do before coming to Australia, today we are going to make a video about what you should do once you have moved to Australia. Check it out. Before we dive into things that you need to do once you arrive in Australia, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Number 1. When you arrive in Australia, the first thing that you need to do is inform your family members that you have arrived in Australia. And how would you do that? Obviously, you cannot keep relying on Facebook or WhatsApp calls. That's why you have to buy a SIM card. So number 1, buy the SIM card. Now there are various companies obviously offering great deals, but what you have to see is what kind of user you are. Whether you use internet more, whether you use international calling more, or you need local minutes more. So depending on that, choose a retailer that suits your needs. There are various big retailers like Telstra, Vodafone and Optus. Also, Leica Mobile is really famous for its international calling. So if you have to call overseas a lot, that's the deal for you. Also, you can get it only for $2 in any of the grocery markets or supermarkets. So all you gotta do is buy that SIM card, go on its website, register yourself, and the SIM card will start working. Now you have bought a SIM card. Your SIM card's working and you have told your family that you're safe in Australia. What next? Now you must have brought some cash with you. You gotta open a bank account. Now there are 3 major banks in Australia. Commonwealth Bank, known as CommBank, ANZ and NAB. There are a bunch of other banks too, but these 3 are the most famous ones. If you're coming on student visa, don't forget to open a student account. If you don't do that, they might charge an administration fees if you don't deposit certain amount of money every month. Now, because you're coming from overseas, you would have some cash with you. So deposit that cash in that bank account, get a debit card, and get going in Australia. Moving on to number 3, tax file number. Now, if you want to work in Australia, what you need is tax file number so that when you work, the employer deducts your tax first and then give you the money. How do you get this tax file number? You go on ato.government's website. It's pretty simple. But then, if you want to know how exactly to get the tax file number, we have made an entire video. The link is in the description below. Number 4. Now, if you're coming to Australia as a permanent resident, what you need is a Medicare. And if you're coming as an international student, what you have to sort out is your health insurance. Now, for permanent residents, what you gotta do is you gotta go to Medicare office with your passport and a proof of your permanent resident visa and get your Medicare sorted. So if anything happens at the end moment, then you don't have to run to get that. If you're coming as an international student, what you gotta do is you gotta sort out which company is taking your insurance, and you have to ask them whether you're getting the digital card or a physical card. Because when something happens and you go to hospital, you just have to show that card and you'll be sorted. Just for record, if you have this card and you don't show it to the hospital, or if you're eligible for this card and you haven't got this card, and if something happens and you have to go to hospital, then you may not get covered under this Medicare card or your health insurance. So do it once you arrive in Australia. Number 5. Now, when you came to Australia, obviously you would have a temporary accommodation, but what you need is a permanent accommodation, because when you have your name on the lease where you're staying, you start building a credit history, which is very important if you're going to stay in this country for a long time. So what you gotta do is find a house first and decide which part of the city you want to live in. Do you want to live by the bay? Do you want to live in the middle of the city in CBD? Or do you want to live in the suburbs? If you want to know more about how to find cheap rental accommodation in Melbourne or in general Australia, we have an entire video made for that. Check it out. And last, number 6, jobs in Australia. Now, finding job in Australia can be a little bit tough. What we have done is we have made an entire video about how to get jobs in Australia. What you gotta do is just know how exactly you will get a job. Where exactly do you have to apply? And which are the portals where you find maximum jobs. Step by step, I have explained what exactly you need to do if you want a job. The link is right here. Check it out. I hope that video was helpful to you guys and you have liked the video already. Give a huge thumbs up. And if you want us to make any more videos, if you have any more questions, write it in the comment section. I hope you have subscribed the channel and turn on the notification bell. Welcome to Melbourne Vibe.